Yo, what? I'm back, baby. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment, brand new installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and yo, it's been a minute. Last review we did was like Chip and Dale, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So, real quick, let me tell y'all where I've been. So, one, I went to MomoCon out there in Atlanta, Georgia. I have been wanting and have been planning to do my take on what I thought about MomoCon. That was my first convention. It was an anime convention. That John was lit. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'll give more details as time comes, or maybe I won't. Maybe this is all I'll say about it. But I had a blast. Saw Saber Spark down there, Phil Lamar. I met some people. If you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, if you follow this page on Twitter and Instagram, you saw the photos and everything from that. And yeah, just in the meantime, I've just been like, I've just been chilling. Like yesterday, as of this recording, yesterday, June 8th, was my birthday. So I mean, I'm another year older now. I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but I ain't too old. I'm still young. But I just been like, trying to get back out there, and I've been wanting to come back and do some videos and everything. I just haven't gotten around to it. But this one here today, I'm here to talk about a little film on Amazon Prime called Emergency. This was a great film. By the end of this film, I was left speechless. I'm not going to spoil it here because this is something you gotta see it. But before I get any farther into it, I'm gonna remind you guys to go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost at our 100 subscriber goal. I have not forgotten about that. No. And I know it's crazy to want that goal, and I haven't been here in like 2 weeks, right? It's so crazy. But trust me when I say this, the reviews are returning, man. Like I was talking to a friend of mine, I have content to last for months on end. So trust me, I ain't forget about you guys. Matter of fact, Bob's Burgers movie, I just saw that recently, like this past week, a couple of days ago, really. So I'm gonna be doing a review. Me and Sam are gonna be here doing a review on that this week. So keep an eye out for that. I got some other interesting videos planned. So look, it's gonna be a content dump week. Okay, like today this is video number 1. I'm gonna try to get another one out, but if I can't get another one out today, trust me, tomorrow is going down. I got some stuff in the cannon, trust me, and I mean it for real. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into talking about this movie Emergency. Again, hit that like button if you enjoyed this review and subscribe to the channel. Show us some love. I appreciate y'all for sticking through. Thank you. So this movie Emergency, it is available now, like I said, on Amazon Prime. If you have Prime Video, go ahead and check it out. It was released there on May 27th, so it's fairly new on Prime. It was released on May 27th, but on May 20th, it had a limited release. It premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. It's been getting rave reviews. It's directed by Carey Williams, and it comes from a screenplay written by K.D. Davila. It's a comedy drama thriller film. It stars R.J. Seiler, Donald Elise Watkins, Sebastian Chacon, and Sabrina Carpenter. I am Sabrina Carpenter. I knew that face looked familiar. So how can I start talking about this film? Okay, so this is a comedy. Okay, above all else, this is a comedy movie, and it starts off pretty. I like this movie, especially with basically an all black cast, so to speak. And I like it because this movie it does something that I like when certain black movies do, and it just tells a story that, and not to be racist, but it tells a story that white movies tell all the time, at least with the basic plot setup. Like you have R.J. Seiler, he plays Sean, and Donald Elise Watkins plays Cooney. Cooney is pretty much like our main character, and Sean is like his best friend. They're college students. They live together, and so they plan to do like a legendary tour, which is like it's like a party over spring break, but they go like different parties. They have like 7 different parties all night. And it's just party all night, and it's called the Legendary Tour. And it's something that a lot of people don't complete. And it'll help them get on the Wall of Fame, not just the Wall of Fame, but the Black Wall of Fame at their school, which is it's just like a wall where every black student that went to their school that was the first to do something gets put on that wall. And Sean's goal is to be on that wall as the first, is to have him and Cooney be put on that wall as the first black students to complete a legendary tour that they call the party tour. So all this seems to be going well. Things seem to be going pretty good. They got their party set up. They got the plan of how they're going to do it. Cooney, he's more scholarly, more nerdy. He has a girl that he likes that he wants to go to the party with. And he also has a big project that he's working on that can determine his future. And Sean, meanwhile, he's just like, hey, man, I just want to party with my bro. I'm going to go out, complete this legendary tour, like I already said. He wants to get on that wall. Okay, cool. So, as they're getting ready to go to the party, they go back to their room, to their living arrangement, at their room. I think it's still on the college campus. I want to say dorm room, but I don't want to say that, but I do want to say that because it's technically what it is. And they have a third roommate in there whose name is Carlos, played by Sebastian Chacon. So when they go into there, they're going to get some stuff, just make a quick pit stop. And Cooney sees the body of a young white female laying on the floor, unconscious. And from there, this movie pretty much takes off. Because I want to figure out how to talk about this without giving away some of the biggest pieces of this movie. So when they find the girl, and you'll see this in the trailer, so this isn't a giveaway. What happens is that Cooney is like, yo, we should call the cops. We have this, this unconscious girl here. We should call the cops, let them know what's happening, and get this over with. Sean's point of view is, hey, no, we're 3 brown guys in here. Sean and Cooney are black, and Carlos is Hispanic. It's like, no, we're 3 brown guys in here. The cops come here, they're gonna think we did something, and we cannot have that. And it doesn't help that Cooney's touching the body, checking for a pulse and everything, which for those of you who don't know, if there's a dead, unconscious, etc. body on the floor, it's probably best not to touch it. And if you do want to touch the body and check for a pulse or whatever, try not to move that body, because the minute that body gets moved or your fingerprints get on that body, you're considered a suspect in this case. Like, you're liable to be held accountable for something, right? So the point of view that Sean's coming from is, again, like I said, hey, we're 3 brown guys and this is a white girl. We're liable to get in trouble. So they're trying to figure out what to do with this body. They call the police, and there's a big debate about that. Which, one thing I like about this movie and the performances and the writing to this is that you kind of really, you can see both sides of it. It's like, okay, calling the cops is obviously the right thing to do. Calling 911 is obviously the right thing to do in this situation. However, as Sean has stated, you kind of got to take into consideration the color of our skin and the color of this person's skin here that we don't know. We have no idea who this person is. And it doesn't help that Carlos was in the other room and had no idea this girl even stumbled into his house. Then, to make matters even a little bit worse, we find out later on in the movie that the girl, and I think this is in the trailer, but if not, this is just a minor spoiler here. The girl is underage. She's a high schooler. She's in 12th grade. She's not a college student, and she is just, we don't know what's wrong with her. She seems like she's intoxicated, highly intoxicated, loopy, out of it, doesn't really know, has no sense of where she is, can't even manage to give her name. There's no phone that they know of that they can use to try to contact somebody. There's nothing. So they're trying to figure out what to do. And they go through different options. Hey, maybe we drop her body off in front of this party house and keep it going. And it's like, well, no, that's not right. We can't just dump a body somewhere like that. Not only are people liable to see us, but we're leaving an innocent, unconscious female outside of a party house. Like, that's kind of wrong. So as the movie continues on, we find that there are other characters who are actually looking for this young lady, and it just turns into a night of how can I put this? It gets a little scary. Um, Not like horrific scary, but it gets a little like, okay, the tension rises because it's like, okay, these three characters are put into situations that increase the risk of them not being that make it harder for them to be able to escape this situation. One thing that happens is that the car they're driving, the tail light gets busted out. Then they're outside of the house trying to figure out what to do, and these white people come out and they think that they're up to no good. And the irony of that part is that these white people have a Black Lives Matter sign outside of their house, but they're still accusing these these brown skinned people of like selling drugs or being up to no good. um Gosh, it's just so and I guess from that you can kind of see, because I'm trying really hard not to give away a lot of things about this film. um but one of the things I like about it is the way the tension escalates, but it's not escalating to a point where you're like, oh well, you're just being an asshole about it, you're just being you're just being rude about the situation, like use common sense. But it's like I said, the more the things around the situation changes, the more you're kind of like, okay, well, what do you really do? And it always kind of talks back to, yo, we just should call 911. So eventually they say, yo, you just drop her off at the hospital, take it to the hospital and let them deal with it. And that just becomes a task in and of itself. And the movie kind of culminates, like I said, this is a comedy. I want to emphasize that this is a comedy first and foremost. So there is a lot of good, funny content in here, and things based just around the situations. And a lot of good jokes based around the situation, the situational jokes, and just the character interactions are great between the two main characters are great. They're great. Even when Carlos comes in, the interactions between these characters are amazing and phenomenal. Like you can see and feel their friendship. It's when the last 30 minutes of this movie comes around that this movie really turns into a very heavy movie. But for me, as a black man, it was heavy because it's like, I understand the side of, I want to help this person and make sure that they're okay. But then for me personally, at least, I also saw the side of Sean. The Cooney was the one who wanted to save her and make sure, or at least make sure she was all right, get her somewhere safely. But Sean is like, yo, we just got to get rid of her. We gotta let this John go. We gotta make sure we don't get caught by no police. We gotta just get this smooth and done over with so we can get to this night party and forget all about this. But the last 30 minutes, when they kick in, it's something that I didn't see coming. I did not see the severity of it coming, and it shifts, and it doesn't just abruptly shift. It kind of, you kind of see the movie kind of like, thinking back on it, you kind of can see the movie easing down that path. So what happens, and you get this really powerful moment between Sean and Cooney as two black men who are best friends, who care about each other, who, even though they have their own intentions and things like that, you can see that there's still a care, especially with Sean towards Cooney. Like Sean really cares about Cooney, and Sean just wants Cooney to have a good night, wants to have a good night with Cooney. Cooney is going to Princeton, and it's just it just, I mean, you see, for me, because when those moments in that last 30 minutes of this movie come around, it's like I questioned myself and I was like, wow, like I still don't know what would have been the right decision this far in. Like I still don't know what would have been the right thing to do. I don't know that calling the cops or calling 911, even though that's the most logical explanation, I don't know if that would have always, been the best decision. This movie does now. With all that said, this movie does tackle race issues, obviously, but it's not heavy-handed with it. At least not until the last 30 minutes, which again, even then, it's not too heavy with it, but that's the heaviest that it gets. And it really kind of harkens back to really it becomes less about in the climax and in the big emotional moment towards the end of the movie, it's less about the incident that's happening and more about the relationship between these characters. You know, because at the end of the day, these are black men that we have to have each other's back. And seeing that they showed that, you know, the brotherhood between them two, I thought that was phenomenal. And honestly, I found myself crying during like these last moments of this film. I tried so hard not to cry, y'all. I tried so hard not to cry, but I cried. And it was like, it wasn't just like, you know, the little tears come out, but you don't really feel like, no, it was like I could have boo-hoo cried like over the last bit of this film, honestly. And I was really holding it back. And it was so interesting, so gripping. And even the way that this movie ends, the way the last few seconds, the last shot of this film, and it's really, really good. It's just really good. Um, you know, I will tell you this much. They do end up getting the white girl. They do end up, you know, tending her. She does, you know, end up being safe, and you know, her sister ends up finding her and things like that because her sister's the one that's looking for her. So it's a really good movie. Like I said, this is something I don't really want to spoil much. I really just want to sing the praises of this movie. I was not, like I said, I was not expecting the dramatic portion of this movie to go so hard, and it went hard, and I really enjoyed it. To the point where I was left speechless. When I literally speechless, like I couldn't do anything but whistle through my house. Usually, when I watch a movie or you know, and I like and enjoy, I think to myself out loud, I'm like, yeah, man, that was good. You know, whew, that was a man. I probably would have done this, but more. By that time this movie ends, I'm like, I was just like, yo, I was just like, I didn't know what to say. I had no words. I was speechless because it's one of those movies where, you know, when you get to the end and you're kind of like, it doesn't say that someone was clearly right or someone was clearly wrong. It kind of just says, well, here's where they could have been right, and here's where this person could have been right. And it even goes to the point where it say, see, if this person would have done this, then they would have been all right. You know, but however, if this person would have done this, they could have had this person's back. But at the same time, would those things still have happened? So it was just a powerful movie. I don't have that much more to say about it. It's been getting rave reviews. From what I understand. Check out here what these reviews are, what the reception is. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 93%. Let me see. Metacritic gives it 75 out of 100. And the screenwriter of the film, what's her first name? KD DeVilla. She got the Waldo Salt Screenwriting Award at the Sundance Film Festival. You know, after this movie was screened. So yeah, I mean, I can't say too much more about this film, but I can say that I highly recommend you give it a watch. It's available on Amazon Prime. I mean, I'm pretty sure as many people have Prime as they have Netflix, so it's very easily accessible. It's about an hour, 45 minutes long. Like I said, it is a comedy. Do not forget that it is a comedy, so you are going to get some really good laughs out of this. I know I did, especially in the beginning, the setup of the movie. It was really funny. The performances in here are really great. RJ Cyler, I don't see him in many things. I haven't seen him in anything since the Power Rangers movie, honestly. That's just me. But he did really good. Donald Elise Watkins, I know him from somewhere. I know him. I've seen him in things before. And he plays Cooney. He does really good. Sabrina Carpenter, her role in there is really good. You know, all the actors and actresses, the cast in here is really good. The direction is really good. And the film, like I said, at the core, it's a fun film to watch. But like I said, when you get to that last 30 minutes, that's when it gets the heavy. That's when we hit the heavy things that we know are coming just based off of the content around the premise of the film, if that makes sense. So out of 5 stars, I'm gonna give this one 5. This is the Brick Wall 5 of 5 stars. I absolutely enjoyed this movie. I highly recommend it. It is called Emergency. It is now available on Amazon Prime to watch. If you have your Prime Video subscription, come on, you already know it's included. Give it a watch, check it out. And when you do, let me know in the comments what you think about this movie. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, if you thought maybe the heavy-handed content was too heavy-handed, if you cried like I cried, let me know. Just let me know. But that's all I have for you guys right now. Like I said, I just want to get on here and just talk about this film, sing its praises, review it, and I've done that. So, and if you want to see me talk Bob's Burgers, like I said, I'll be doing that this week. It's coming. So stay tuned to the channel. I will not let y'all down. We are back. BrickWall Reviews is back in full force tomorrow. I'm going to be dropping some videos. I'm going to try to get one more out today on Young Justice because the season just finished. And boy, did that season's finale have something. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys for sticking around, and the hiatus is over, baby. We back. So all that said, take care, man. Be safe out here. Happy Pride Month to those who are celebrating, and Juneteenth is around the corner, so y'all already know what it is. But until next time, this is Dave, BrickWall Reviews. Subscribe. Peace.